We're finally in 2024, and it's very important that I give you my assessment of what to expect in 2024. Now, within 2023, Hanoi or Vietnam has witnessed a significant change in its policies for teaching, especially ESL, and a number of things. In this video, I seek to teach you the current introduction into the world of ESL in Vietnam, what has been cancelled, what has been added, and what I anticipate and I expect that is going to happen in the coming years. So guys, stick with me. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, subscribe, like the video, and share the videos. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. It helps other people to also view my channel. In 2023, this is one of the biggest things that happened in Vietnam, and it changed the whole ESL scope. And we're anticipating whether it's going to crash ESL or it won't be crashed. So number one is that Vietnam has currently cancelled English as a compulsory subject in their normal high school exams. And so currently, English is no longer compulsory. Previously, it used to be a compulsory subject in addition to math and literature. Now, it's been cancelled from being compulsory, meaning it's now alternative. So, students can now choose English or choose whatever subject that they want to write. And so that's it. So this was issued in Decree 4159/QD-BG-BBT. So this has already taken effect, meaning that as it stands now, from 2024, high school student who pass from Hanoi or who goes to write exams for Hanoi entrance exams into the university, they are not mandated to choose English as a compulsory subject that they want to write. English is now optional. They can decide to choose it or drop it. And this brought a lot of shake into the ESL world because a lot of people were anticipating what this was actually going to do to the ESL craft and whether ESL is going to be a thing of the past in Vietnam. And people were wondering because now Vietnam is really climbing in the educational ladder. So why will Vietnam take this decision all of a sudden? But hey, they run the show. They'll do what they want. You don't tell them what. They are a sovereign country, you understand? So it's up to them. ESL teachers were just left in limbo, just wishing that it goes our way. So, after this announcement, we were expecting a decline of ESL jobs. So, hold and behold, I chanced on it on Facebook. That was a guy who came to allege that his school has also, one of the classes he was going to teach, they told him that English lessons has been cancelled or is no longer compulsory, and so they stopped learning English. So the guy dropped this on Facebook. I also chanced on this on Facebook, which also means that yes, it has really taken effect. But as to whether students are going to stop or not, we live to tell. Which international schools are going to continue, centers are still going to continue to teach English, and some are saying that even the public schools, primary public schools and other public schools are going to continue. Just that the high schools, that is where some of them will decide to drop it. So we hope to see what will really happen. But it has also been alleged that some of the areas in Vietnam has already cancelled English in public schools completely. I can't confirm, but that is what I heard. Those were some of the reports that I heard. So we hope to see. I hope this doesn't kick out ESL in totality, but then this only, or maybe they reverse the decision, or maybe it doesn't do a huge damage. So this is one of the biggest things in Hanoi. We are yet to see the effect or the aftermath or what is actually going to generate into. Vietnam has now introduced a training certificate for teachers, and this was done regardless of native speakers or non-native speakers, whether you come from Australia, Canada, America. According to the new ESL instructions in Vietnam, they are saying that all teachers or foreign teachers are supposed to now have a training certificate. Now, this was very weird. This was a very weird decision, because every teacher, before you get a work permit, you're expected to have a C1. And C1 is what measures your listening of English and your speaking of English. And in addition, you're also supposed to have TEFL or TESOL. TEFL is teaching English as a first language, and TESOL is teaching English to speakers of other languages. So before someone becomes an ESL teacher, the person already has this certificate. In addition to the pedagogical certificate, whether Bachelor of Art English Education, Bachelor of English Education, Bachelor of Science Education, blah, 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 blah. So asking teachers to now engage in a new training certificate, which will be provided by the Vietnamese. I don't know if they're going to set a board, whether the government is going to train. I don't know who is even going to teach those lessons. Like English teachers are teaching English in Vietnam. Now Vietnam is saying they are going to give us a training, we should get a training certificate that they are going to provide. So they will provide instructions, we go for internship, blah, 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 blah. And this has actually been sanctioned by the government, by the education ministry rather. It's been sanctioned and contained in, do we call this a decree or what? And this is decision 4159 something. So there is actually, I'll paste it on the video so you can see. So it's been issued out, meaning it has taken effect. All teachers currently are supposed to get a training certificate in Vietnam. They're supposed to attend a training certificate, go for internship, and then boom. And this actually got a lot of people talking is it a way to get teachers out of Vietnam or what? Teachers already have this qualification. So why are you subjecting them to another training certificate that will be provided by Vietnamese? Because currently the Vietnamese have an out program that they do for Vietnamese English teachers. And these ones are even taught by English teachers, like foreign teachers who come in to teach them. This is organized by the government, and these guys are given remuneration. They are paid for this, and now the government want to give us that. Who's going to teach? Is it Vietnamese English teachers, or is it the same English teacher who are going to teach themselves? Now, so people are thinking they are going to reverse this too, which we are also hoping for. I mean, because it's kind of weird, right? So far, so good. They have not imposed this on anybody. My employer has not told me to go get this certificate. Neither have I heard that other people are being forced to go get this certificate, or they are sent, whether they are forced to go get it, or I've not heard anything. They are a bit silent, although they've passed this into law and even issued a letter to that effect, which we've all read, but they haven't forced it. We hope they also change their minds about this kind of thing. Otherwise, if they don't do it, we will get it for them. Same way TEFL was introduced, C1 was introduced, and we are still doing it, and we are getting the certificate. If they don't change it, we will do it. It's not a problem. We will do it, and then we will get it for them. But I want you to know. So if you are now coming to Vietnam, these are some of the changes in 2024 that are happening. Some of them they haven't taken full effect, but they are expected to either take full effect or they will be cancelled. And if they don't get cancelled, it means you are supposed to oblige to it yourself too. So the next change in Vietnam now is that now renew your document has become a bit of a problem, especially for other teachers who are staying and living in Vietnam. Now, because we've heard that some schools, some countries have been placed on immigration blacklist, like Nigeria is part, Ghana is part, and other countries that I have a video on that, who are also part of that blacklist. And so currently, if you come from that country and you are even staying in Vietnam, if you decide to renew your visa, or if you decide to, get new documentation, it's a bit of a problem. It's not impossible, but it's a bit of a problem. So recently, I have a friend here who has been teaching here for a long time, I think 5 years or more, and he just wanted to extend his visa, and he was asked to exit Vietnam and come back again, which is a very, very big problem. And that gets you thinking, I should exit. What if I exit and I come and they deny me the visa? What happens? So that brings a whole lot of frustration, plus the fact that you need to stop working and leave. What if you come and you've been replaced? So they ask you to leave and come back. Now I'm thinking, you leave Vietnam, go on visa run, and you come and they don't give you the visa again, or you even come, they give you the visa, you come and then now you've been replaced, because if you are going on visa run, the student wouldn't be waiting, the student will have to learn, and they have to find a teacher, and they bring the teacher is so good than you, or they say, okay, oh, sorry, we can't work with you. So these are some of the problems, and currently teachers are also having problems renewing their visa, and there's also been an instances where some Africans who came into Vietnam under some companies, some of the companies have been shut down. Some of the companies, their owners have been tipped to be ghost companies, or they didn't comply with the rules and regulations, and so the Vietnam immigration have now shut that companies. And what it means that everybody under that company is supposed to leave Vietnam, find another company and switch. And if you want to switch, you have to exit Vietnam. And some people exit Vietnam and they are not given entry again. You get to the border and they won't allow you entry. You have to go back into your country. So that is one of the frustrating things in Vietnam currently. It's a big headache. Now there are a lot of teachers who came under this company who are supposed to get a new company. Some of them even get a new company, and now exiting and coming is a big problem. So some are overstaying. Oh my God, is now a problem. That is another thing that is happening currently in Vietnam. Okay, so now the next point is Vietnam has made changes to their visa. So they want to boost tourism, and so currently all countries can just apply for e-visa. You don't have to go to the Vietnamese embassy, blah blah blah. Just online apply for the tourist visa, and you just get it. It's just, I think, $10 or so, $10 or $25 within that range. Not expensive. You can choose single entry or multiple entry, 3 months, 5 months. You can choose whatever you want. And so this has made a lot of Africans to now just storm Vietnam. Like now, there are a number of Africans in Vietnam. You know, they've actually stormed Vietnam. Not only Africans, some from Europe, America, England, all those places. They've all stormed Vietnam. So now the number of people in Vietnam, they came with tourist visa but decided not to go back again. It's now overwhelming, and it is expected that something will be done in the future. Like, it is expected that Vietnam will take a decision. You know, in fact, I anticipate that Vietnam won't be that smooth for foreigners again, because for now, that police won't stop you. Police, when you are going, you can drive freely. When the police see you, they're like, oh, go, go, go. But I'm anticipating that in 2024, now when the police see you, they are likely to stop you and say, let me see your passport. I want to see your visa. This is likely to happen because the number of people storming Vietnam with tourist visa, with the intention of not returning, overstaying, and not also using work visa, is so alarming, it's so overwhelming, and that I anticipate will happen in 2024. Or better still, it's likely they will say, okay, thank you, all foreign teachers. We don't need you again. Okay, so now you can go. Or I even anticipate that they can say, okay, so now if you want to teach in Vietnam, you should only be a native speaker. If you're not a native speaker, we don't want you again. Please go to your country. And I think that is going to be a big blow. Even though I fear and I wish that never happens, with the current happening in Vietnam, it is likely to happen. And also with the fact that people are now bringing people to Vietnam illegally. There were a lot of complaints. People are paying for the e-visa. The e-visa, which cost only around $10 to $15 to $25. People are also paying $1,500 and $2,500 with some promises. Oh, come, we will change it for you. Oh, come, we will change it for you. So despite the videos we keep doing that it's not possible, people are still falling for that scam. People are still falling for that scam. People are still charging people money. Last time a certain lady DM'd me and she was like, she came to Vietnam with a tourist visa and she came with her 3 kids from Nigeria. Really? You came with 3 kids? If you are someone who has come to hustle and you come to Vietnam with your 3 kids, because she fell to a promise that she's just going to stay here temporary and then they'll convert for her and then blah 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 blah, and then a whole lot of scam. So guys, don't fall for this. If you want to apply, you can apply. Further, you can look on my video on how to apply and do it yourself. And if you come here to know that you can switch your tourist visa into work permit, you have to exit outside Vietnam. And also know that the only work here is teaching. That is the only work here. If you can't teach, don't come. And teaching is not easy as people think it is. You can do it, I know, but you need to have the skill and how to control the class. That's the most important thing. So that's it. And I anticipate that with all these, it is likely to affect us. It is likely to they are likely to introduce new laws, new regulations that will curb some of these things, and most of these laws is going to put most of us in danger. That I fear in 2024. But looking at the trend now, it is likely to happen. Now, the next thing I also anticipate in 2024 is that there is likely to be a scarcity of work in Vietnam. Even teaching work I'm talking about, it has the likelihood of being very scarce, because currently the number of teachers trooping into Vietnam all around the world, all over the globe, coming to Vietnam just to teach. In 2024, I anticipate, even now, there is scarcity in finding a job in Vietnam. But I anticipate that in 2024, it's going to get too intense. Like, what that means is that if you already have a job in Vietnam, you got to hold on to it so tight. You have to do it very well. Like, you have to excel. You have to teach your kids so that they know that yes, this teacher is great. This teacher is amazing. Because if you don't do that in 2024, there is likely to be a scarcity of work, and that can affect you, and you'll be wondering. So I'm ending my video with the fact that ESL in Vietnam is now getting a bit complicated, and a lot of problems have started arising. Because of the kind of infiltration, the kind of attention it has gotten, and the way people are now trooping into the country, and most or some of the people are not doing the right thing. They're not doing what is requested of them. It is likely to create some complications, but we wish and hope that it doesn't reach where I'm foreseeing. My name is Kenny Brands. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell so that if I drop any new video, you get to know.